Hello, Gemini. Welcome to or welcome back to Marie and Kay Tarot. How are you? What has been happening, Gemini? Are you okay? This is going to be a reading for the sign of Gemini for your sun, moon, ascendant, any other planet you feel yourself drawn to, and it's going to be for May 2025. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pull an oracle card from the Sacred Symbols Oracle by Marcella Kroll. And we're also going to be using this rather fabulous pink plastic holographic Rider-Waite Smith. Oh, look, there you are, Gemini. Ten of Swords, how lovely. Yes, it's very slippery because it's plastic. And it's quite a interesting deck to try and handle. So let's get into this, shall we, Gemini? Let's put that up there. Have a card, please. Oh, no. Can I have a card, please, for Gemini for May 2025, please? So you're looking forward to your birthdays, Gemini? Because early Geminis will start celebrating. I think it's quite early this. I think probably going to be about the 20th of May. Birthday season starts. It's quite early. Right, let us see. Time. Wow. Well, there's a card, Gemini, hey? One of the quickest signs of the zodiac and time comes up. What we're going to say about this? You know what it feels like, Gemini? It feels like it's an acknowledgement that May is the start of your birthday season. It's to remind you that time waits for no one. I know I'm full of the cliches this month, aren't I? Yes, it's all very worrying, Gemini. But anyway, it feels like this is the time. Quite literally, it's the time to get yourself going. Jupiter is going to be leaving your sign very soon, and even though Jupiter doesn't particularly like being in your sign, I don't know why, because they're wonderful. Well, I do know why, but we will not get into that. What it feels like is it's like, right, so the world, your world personally, your world outwardly, the world at large has changed significantly in the last 12 months from your birthday to your birthday. And it feels like this card is a reminder to say, take a moment to take stock of the changes that have happened this year. Take a moment to appreciate the growth, because whether you think it or not, whether you feel it or not, there has been a period of growth, because we all grow. And what I want you to consider, Gemini, is that growth, whether you think it's positive or negative or what, growth is important. It's important in our journey. And I think you're so forward facing, Gemini. You're so future orientated. I feel like a lot of all the air signs to a point are very future orientated. But I think, take this moment to pause as much as time will allow for you to pause, because it's a continuation. And see how far you've come. And be proud of yourself, Gemini. Be proud. Be proud of what you've expanded, be proud of what you've manifested into your life, and find something to be grateful about. Okay? That's the message that's coming through for that card, and we'll see how it shows up in the main reading. Okay, so have some cards, please, for Gemini. For May. Oh, right, okay, we're going to go here with the Page of Wands to kick us off. Lovely. For May 2025, please. We like a wee bit fire energy, a wee bit new fire energy, Gemini. No, it's like, what if you get, oops, right, we're not taking all of them. Absolutely not. See what I mean about these slippery cards? So let's get your gander up, Gemini. You know, where's the fire in your belly, or where has it been? Right, let's see. Get the Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. The Eight of Pentacles, Virgo. Three of Swords, Libra energy. Six of Pentacles, Gemini, what are you building? The Tower. And the Four of Swords. Okay. Gemini, what are you building? That's the question that came to my mind. What are you building, Gemini? What do you intend to build in May? That's what. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have got the Hanged Man. So, what are we doing here? Right, let's put that there. Okay. Now, let's have I just a look and see. Let's pull this energy in. Okay. We have got all the earth signs represented here. Okay. We have got Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Of course, Taurus is your neighbouring sign. But it feels like there's something about your self-worth this month, Gemini. You are toiling away. You're very much toiling away at whatever it is you're working on. Be that a relationship, be that a business idea, a business opportunity, a work situation. You're very much toiling away at it. And it feels like you're now let's be honest, Gemini, right? Okay, let's cards are literally on the table. You and I both know, right, that you can be a bit flighty, right? There's no shade for me, no criticism, because I too, despite being a Taurus, can be a bit flighty. And I think, you know, for the longest time, you have been working so hard to keep something going, okay? And it's like you just cannot do it anymore. You know, it's just like you just can't. And it's interesting how there is such a Venusian feeling from these cards. Okay. And I'll tell you for why. Okay. Because here in the Four of Pentacles, right? Now that's the Sun in Capricorn, right? And that's very much like that kind of a, yeah, I'm going to keep everything to myself, right? And because you're guarding what's important to you. And it feels like there's been this fighting to keep what's important to you close to you, be that family members, jobs. You know, there's just been no, it's almost like you've been pulling the energy of Jupiter, making things expand, and you've been like, no, I don't want any more expansion, thank you very much. I'm just not going to allow this. And the reason I'm feeling Venusian about it is it feels quite strongly that for a fair few of you, it's a relationship. Whether that's a relationship with your finances or it's a relationship with another person. It feels very, it just feels guarded. And I don't think you're particularly enjoying it right now, Gemini, to be perfectly honest with you. There's this natural curiosity to you. I mean, it's even pointed out in that card there. There's this natural curiosity that you have, and it's very, I don't mean this to sound like weird or anything, but there's a childlike curiosity and innocence to you, Gemini, you know, and I've met Geminis that are like, 65, 70-year-old men, and they've still got that childlike wonder and excitement in their eyes, and it's something that never really leaves you. And I think the burden of life over the last wee while, it's just really gotten you down. There's been so much hard work to keep things to keep things as they are, as they always have been. And that's really no you. And going back to this time card, it's like I think you're becoming very aware of the passage of time. That we're no here forever. We're only here for a limited amount of breaths, if you like. We only have a limited amount of breaths within us. And I think there's been a lot of mental anguish going on. There's been a lot of mental heartbreak, whilst outwardly it's looked as if you're fine. It's like I was thinking to myself, there's loads of different kinds of heartbreak, I feel like, and what I feel like is the Three of Swords picks up in that internal mental heartbreak. It's like outwardly you look fine. Outwardly it's as if you've always been the way you are, but internally, it's like your mind is just broken in the fact that you just cannot carry this pain anymore, this burden. And that's what it feels like. It feels like a burden now. Whereas you've been given and given and given. And it's felt like, no, that I mean, you're a very generous person, Gemini. You're a very kind person, and you're greatly misunderstood in society as a whole. It's a shame. And that's why I always stick up for you, Gemini, because it's not your fault you are the way you are. It's not your business to be interested in boring people or boring things. It's your mind wanders. So when your mind wanders, sometimes your feet wander. Or your heart maybe wanders. Um, but that's because people don't understand you. And it's like to stay here, to stay in this position, it's it's just too much. But you have tried so hard. You've tried so hard to be diligent, work hard, and do the right thing, whatever that is in life. Um, and it's just it just feels like there's just going to be this crumbling. It's whether it comes in May, could come in May because we've got that like card de Taurus, the charity card. And I think it's like, people are, there's a fine line, okay? There's a fine line between giving willingly and being taken advantage of. And I think for some of you, Gemini, you're coming to the conclusion, or you may come to the conclusion in May, or it's been working up to the fact that you've been getting taken advantage of, you know. Um, to put it in a Scottish dialect or a Scottish language way, it's like you've been getting the piss took right out you. Somebody has been taking the piss. And you're just coming to that realization, and having that realization, it's meant that there could be, or there may well have been, this tower moment where you have just been like, right, do you know what, no, this isn't happening anymore. This, that person, that version of me that you're used to being your skivvy or being like the doormat that you think I am, that person's gone. That person is broken. They are no longer available. And it's like now this new version of yourself where you've regained your passion, or where you're relearning your passion. You're seeing things through a different perspective with that hanged man energy. You know, maybe you have been in a situation for so long that you think that, oh, well, I mean, this is just my life and I just need to put up with it. When in actual fact, no, you don't. And it feels like May is a turning point because, again, you're realizing that time is slipping away. You know, we're own internal and your own internal um sand timer is just like, right, okay, maybe some of you are watching this and it makes you come to the realization that, oh, well, I've probably I've probably lived through more sand than what I've got left, you know, and it's giving you that moment of clarity, it's giving you that tower moment, that realization to think, right, before I get to before I get to my time being up, what do I want to achieve in my life? You know, what is it that I can achieve? Why am I stagnating? You know, why am I holding on to everything? Where can I find freedom? How can I look at things in a different perspective? And I think that's a key for you um this month, Gemini, before time runs out. And it might be no like the whole time, left of your lifetime. It could be you feel that you're getting into the territory of borrowed time, or there's something or someone in your life that is now on borrowed time because you're just not tolerating it anymore. You're not being that person anymore. You know, you're the the purse is closed, the door's shut. It's time, just to say bye bye. And I don't think there's anything wrong at all with that, Gemini. I think that we need to live in ourselves. We need to live in how we want to show up in the world. And if you're if you're worried about the opinions of other people, of course there's going to be a problem. Some people, as soon as you start to put boundaries in place, as soon as you start to do things that you want to do, which in turn causes other people not to get what they're used to getting from you, there is always going to be resistance to that. But what I would suggest to you, Gemini, is, and I think I say this pretty much in at least one video every month now, right? And because I love the quote, I love it. And I heard Lisa Papez saying it, and it goes like this: I had to be the villain in their story so that I could be the hero in mine. And I think that's really sums up the energy that's coming through for the month of May, Gemini. It's like you need to be your own hero sometimes, and May, I think, is a perfect opportunity to do that. Okay, my loves. Um, if you would like to work with me for a personal reading, the details are in the description box. And if you would like to subscribe, that'd be lovely. And maybe even a wee thumbs up. Okay, my loves, I will see you in June for your have a lovely birthday. Those of you that's got a May birthday, and I will see you for June where we can celebrate Gemini. Yay! Bye bye.